it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts. Thank you very much for joining me again today. Today I have got a project for you that uses the stamp set that goes with the Incredible Like You project kit. You may remember that a wee while ago I shared the cards that you can make with the project kit. They're gorgeous! The kit does not include ink pads or the stamp set. It is just the wherewithal to make. Comes in with a gorgeous box, which she says, grabbing. This is the box, so once you've made all your cards up, you can pop them in here, either so that they're ready to gift, or so that there's somewhere to store them so that they're ready to use when you want to use them. But it would make a lovely gift for someone. If you know someone who likes handmade cards but hasn't quite taken the plunge, then you could make them for them, or you could sit with them and make them with them, which would be a lovely, lovely gift. So, you know, one of those, why don't you come around, have a cup of tea, we'll do some crafting, and by the way, here's your present. We've made it together. That would be, I think, would be a lovely way of introducing someone into crafting and giving them a nice gift as well. But to make the set, you do need the stamp set, which is incredible, just like you. Sorry, it's going to be one of those days, I think. Excuse me, I've got to clear my throat. So this is the stamp set. You only use a very few of these stamps for the kit. So it would be a shame not to have lots of other projects up your sleeve ready to go. So I thought I would share one with you today. So I'm going to pop these. By the way, it's on page 21 of your Spring Summer catalogue. Do remember, if you don't have this yet and you're in the UK, hop over to my website and go to the catalogue page, and there's a request form where you can ask for a copy, and I will get that out to you as quickly as I can. This is the card that I have made, and I have a confession, because the card kit, or the project kit, the cards in it use Coastal Cabana, Granny Apple Green, Daffodil Delight, Grapefruit Grove and Lovely Lipstick. And if you are very, very observant, and assuming the colours are coming across on the YouTube channel true, that Coastal Cabana, it is not. It is Balmy Blue. I pulled Balmy Blue by mistake, but I'm going to rectify that this time, and I'm going to make it with Coastal Cabana. So, you know, sometimes the best laid plans and all that. So I have done a wee bit of prep, because obviously I've done here's one I've made earlier. The supplies that you need as far as card are concerned: thick Whisper White card base, so half a sheet of cardstock scored down the middle. This is Imperial, so it's A4, sorry, it's not Imperial, it's metric. So it's International A4, so this is A5, fold it in half again, and it's A6. Then I've got my first layer mat, which is 5 5/8 by 3 7/8. Now this is smaller than I usually do. This is 5 1/4 by 3 1/2, but I wanted a wider border, and there is a reason for that, which we will come on to. Now, I have used Coastal Cabana this time. Don't worry about any of the dimensions, because they are, as ever, on the associated blog post, which is in the description bar below this video. So if you're watching this on YouTube, that's where you'll find it. If you're on my website, then just go to the very bottom of the blog post that you're already on, and you will find it. So the prep that I have done is, we do need to do some masking. So I have cut some masks just out of Post-it notes. So all I have done is stamp the sentiment, the flower, and the largest of the leaf stamps, and I'll explain which one that is when we get there. I've just stamped them on Post-it note and cut round them, and I've just cut as close as I can, and I've, where possible, gone slightly into the image so that when we stamp we don't end up with too much of a halo. There is a bit of a halo here. I think that was more around how I was stamping rather than the this, but we'll find out. So scrap piece of grid paper, because we will be A, stamping off, and B, stamping over the edges. I've added some of the beautiful glitter enamel dots, which are in the annual catalogue. Remember the annual catalogue, that thing we keep forgetting we've got? They are in Coastal Cabana, Granny Apple Green, Lovely Lipstick and Gorgeous Grape. So I've used Lovely Lipstick on, actually are they Lovely Lipstick or Melon Mambo? I think they're Melon Mambo, but they go quite nicely on this. So I've used the pink, and I'll either use Granny Apple Green or Coastal Cabana, now that I'm using Coastal Cabana ink and cardstock, on the one we're doing now. So, first things first. The first thing we need to do is the sentiment and the floral, because those need to be masked off. So, grabbing my piece of Whisper White, and starting at the top, for no other reason than it seems like as good a place to start as any. I've got the I Hope Your Day is as Amazing as You Are, which I'm inking up in Lovely Lipstick. And as I say, up towards the top, I'm just going to stamp that. And I should say, today is actually quite an amazing day weather-wise. It is very windy and it's going to get worse, but it's also very, very sunny. Which is lovely, apart from the fact I've had to pull my blinds down because the sun was so bright that there was a great shaft of sunlight across my workstation, which, whilst lovely, is a little distracting on video. Right, so that's the Lovely Lipstick for the moment. So we'll get rid of that so I don't lean in it. Pop that at the bottom. Next is the flower. And I'm going to start with the background stamp because there is a background and a foreground to the flower. So I'm going to do the background first in Daffodil Delight. This is one of those distinctive stamps, so it kind of does the shading for you, which is lovely. And it's great that we've now got them in photopolymer. So that's that one. I do need to be slightly careful about how my rainbow is going because it is a rainbow. Grapefruit Grove for the next one. Oops. My Grapefruit Grove ink pad probably needs re-inking. I used it at class and it hasn't quite recovered. So that needs a bit of a re-ink very soon. Right, photopolymer you can see through, so just find a couple of points where you can see the image that you've already stamped, and then just line it up. I've not done that brilliantly, but it's not bad either, so that's fine. Now, when I did my prototype, I did not at this point mask off the flower, and when I came to stamp the stem, it all looked a bit weird. It looked like the flower was balancing on a kind of needle point, which wasn't quite what I was looking for. So I'm not doing that this time. So, got the wrong stamp on the block. So I'm actually going to stamp the smaller of the two larger leaf images, and I will explain what I mean by that first, but I've masked off the area. So what I mean by that is there are two kind of leafy bits, but I'm using this. This I'm thinking of as the smaller and this the larger, only because this is actually slightly smaller, and then I'm using this one as well. So I need the same block. So let's pop that back and grab my next one, and because this is a distinctive stamp, I don't have to stamp off to get a shaded look, because it's that it's like newsprint. It's just little dots, so you can get a shaded look whilst using full strength ink. Right, so now I need to mask off my images that I haven't yet masked off. Just with my post-its. And then Let's see if I can get these in the right order. Nope. So we want Coastal Cabana green here. Right, except I'm going to be using them the other way up. So let's pop those the other way up. Right, so I said I wanted my piece of cardstock slightly narrower. The main reason for that is that the stamp, I like the stamp to go off the edge or be very much on. And because I wanted this to go off the edge, this is actually slightly narrower than my normal size mat. So guess what? I just cut it smaller. So Coastal Cabana. Now this I am going to stamp off. This is stained because I've used it on lovely lipstick, so it is actually clean. But I'm going to stamp off before I stamp. And then I'm actually going to go that way first. There is an up and a down on this stamp. Now the big thing with this is to make sure that where you've got your mask, you press really hard. Now, if you are not getting a good impression, now I've got a whole stack of grid paper here, but if you're not getting a good impression, do remember that's what the stamping piercing mat is for, because it gives you that cushioning that the photopolymer stamps don't have already built into them. The red rubber have the sponge in already, so you don't need to worry about it so much with those. But with the photopolymer, there is no give really in the photopolymer. So if you do find that you're getting too much of a halo round your stamping when you're masking off, then you may want to add the piercing mat or something similar that will give you that give. Now, as I say, there is a right and a wrong way, not a right and a wrong way up, but there is a different way up. So I've turned my stamp over, and I will hopefully, once I've stamped it, be able to show you what I mean. So again, I'm going to press particularly hard over my masked area. Right, I don't know if you can see, this line here goes up and then down. So if you want them to kind of mush together, you need to turn your stamp over each time you stamp. The one at the bottom is slightly straighter, but there is a definite wave here. These do wave, so I'm just twisting them as I go over them, as I change colours, so that I am reasonably confident that that it will merge together. Just cleaning my stamp in between. Right, I've done the green. So Daffodil Delight. Let's get rid of those because they are in my way. Daffodil Delight. And again, stamp off. Now I was that way up, so I now want to go in this way up. And stamp down. And clean off. Just make sure that is clean, which it is, although we're going into a slightly darker colour now, so it's not quite so important. Grapefruit Grove. And this one I do need to make sure I ink up reasonably well, because as I say, it needs re-inking. And then stamp off. And again, I want my, this is the down, so I want it to fit in. There we go. And then just clean this off one more time. And then we can do the lovely lipstick. Now the lovely lipstick, I'm going to move everything down a bit. This was where necessity was the mother of invention. I ended up with too big a space, so I just went all the way to the bottom. And then decided to add a ribbon to fill the gap. There we go. So had I just kept going, I would have ended up with this, with a gap at the bottom, which is not, from a visual point of view, a great place to have a gap. So hence I decided to add a ribbon. Right, okay, let's peel these masks off, and then hopefully you will see that we've not got too much of a halo. Be even better if I can actually get the mask off. There we go. There you go. Now obviously you can reuse the masks as many times as they survive. So if you want to do more of that. So that is our stamped area. So bring in Coastal Cabana. Get rid of that. And this I'm just going to stick down to my mat. Just use a little wibble of adhesive. And then pop that down. Of course, because I'm using wet adhesive, I get wiggle room, which is always nice. Then 2 tiny weeny bits of tear and tape. Because you could use glue dots if you would rather, but I just need something to go on the back where the ribbon's going to wrap round, and I just want those to be reasonably evenly done, and then just with your bone folder just make sure those are stuck down. And I'm using the reversible ribbon from the Spring Summer catalogue. It's Granny Apple Green on one side and Coastal Cabana on the other. I used tone on tone last time, so I'm going to do the same again this time. So Coastal Cabana on Coastal Cabana. This comes in the, what's it called? Sweet treats of some sort. How sweet it is. Sweet. On page 14. So it goes with the Sweet Treat Sweet, which has both those colours in. So just peel the backing off and we're very nearly there. So whilst I'm doing this, I'm then going to pop this up on dimensionals, but whilst I'm doing this, there's just probably enough time to remind you that we are in Celebration. So do remember, for every £45 you spend in my online store, you get to choose stuff from the Celebration brochure. So free items, we like free. So do take a look at that. There are some items that have sold out, specifically the organdy ribbon. So if there is anything that you have your eye on, please don't hang about, because once things are gone, they're gone. Because it's only a 3-month promotion, there isn't enough time to get new stock in. There is another order of the organdy ribbon coming in, but all that's going to do is meet the back orders that are already lined up. So yes, do bear that in mind. So if there's anything you want, now is the time to get it. £45, multiples thereof. There are 2 items in the current offering that are what I call level 2 items, so you need a £90 order for those. But they're gorgeous. There's a stamp set and some dies, and the dies will definitely be in the annual catalogue because we've been told. So they go with the tea time suite in the Spring Summer catalogue. Can't remember what it's called now, but it's got teacups and stuff in it, and teapots and coffee pots and things. Then there's some new items to tempt you coming on the 15th of February. Those are already available for demonstrators to pre-order. so to pay for. And then in March there are some other bits coming, some coordinating items which are to buy. But if you wanted any of the new level 2 items and you were thinking of signing up, you can actually put those into your starter kit. And remember, the starter kit at the moment is amazing. So do think about that. If you think you would like some of the new items, then just let me know and I can let you have the details of those, or if you'd like to look at them anyway, if you're thinking of joining up. So I'm actually going to go Granny Apple Green, because there's quite a lot of Coastal Cabana going about anyway. So I think we'll go Granny Apple Green, and I'm going to do one of my visual triangles again, because I like them. So there we go. Hope your day is as amazing as you, and I hope your day is as amazing as the one we're having at the moment here. I hope you enjoyed that. This is not just to go with the kit, this stamp set, so it is incredible. I know that's a pun, but it is incredible. I'll be bringing some more projects, I have no doubt, in the very near future. So I hope you found that useful, interesting, fun. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't already subscribe, I would be thrilled if you would hit the subscribe button. I'm getting close to 6,000 subscribers, so another milestone in my view. So it would be great if I could hit that. I don't know, by the end of Celebration, that would be nice. If you shop from me, or I should say when you shop from me, if you're in the UK, if you use the host code, not only do you get to share in the host rewards for the month, you also get some sunflower vouchers from me, and when you get 10 sunflower vouchers, you can exchange those for £30 or up to £30 of product. So just another way of me saying thank you for using the host code. If your order is over £150, you get to choose your own host reward, so the host code wouldn't apply to you. But remember, £45 is your friend at the moment, because then you get free stuff. Thank you very much indeed for watching today. If you've got any questions, queries or comments, please either leave a comment below, or you can hop over to my website, also linked below, and you can either drop me an email, leave a comment there, whatever. The host code is in the information below and on my website, so really easy to find, and there are links to my online shop below and on my website. Thank you very much indeed for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye!